All right, have you ever had Facebook ads that were once very profitable, performing absolutely incredibly well, but then all of a sudden or over a period of time, those Facebook ads started dying out and decreasing in performance? Today, I'm gonna show you a trick that I've been using to make my Facebook ads stay profitable and performing well for a long period of time. What's going on? Braden here. So one of the most common things I hear from digital marketers and e-commerce business owners is their frustration with Facebook ads. Either they're frustrated with the inconsistency of Facebook ads, they want to jump off from using Facebook ads as a whole because they'll all of a sudden have very profitable campaigns, profitable ad sets working for a product or an offer, whatever they're selling, and then all of a sudden or over a period of time, those Facebook ads just start dying out and they don't know why. Today I'm gonna show you a trick that I've been using for the last few years that's allowed me to keep my Facebook ads, the same campaigns, running for a long period of time at very high profitable levels. This trick can instantly turn an ad account around from essentially having decreasing performance, instantly turn it around to where you'll have those high margins, those great profitable numbers that you once had before. So in just a second, we're gonna pull up the computer and I'm gonna show you this trick and exactly how to use it. But before we get into it, if you guys could please help the engagement on this video by smashing that like button down below. Definitely hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'm here to help you guys create your own successful online businesses. That way you can have that freedom that you desire. And definitely leave a comment down below. I answer all comments and questions within the first hour of the video upload. So definitely turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload right when it's uploaded. All right, so let's get into it. So what we're gonna cover today is what I consider the wagon wheel approach. So wagon wheel approach is something I came up with a few years ago and I coined the term of it, and I've taught it to quite a few people and it works out insanely well. So first we're gonna talk about how to actually make this work at the ad level, the individual ad level. That's where you should start, then going into the actual ad account level and then the page level. So we're gonna cover all three, and if you have the tools for all three, you can keep your Facebook ads running profitably for a long period of time. So if you're in e-commerce and you have a winning product, this winning product should be able to last you for a long period of time, not just be one of those flash in the pans. Same thing goes up if you're doing lead gen or whatever you're using with Facebook ads. You should have the consistency last you a lot longer than what you have right now. So first, let's go ahead and cover why you might have decreasing ad performance. So it actually comes down to two main things. There's a lot of different factors that can cause an ad performance to decrease. But the two main ones comes down to negative feedback. So feedback left on your ads, your ad account, your page, negative feedback actually will decrease your ad performance. It'll make your ads more expensive. They won't be delivered to the right people. They won't be delivered to as many people. And then the second thing is ad fatigue. So people seeing the same ad over and over again, and the ad just not performing as great. Now with ad fatigue, we're not as concerned with ad fatigue unless you're selling to a very small audience. If you have a very small audience, yes, ad fatigue you need to be worried about. But if you have a large audience or you've got a product or an offer that essentially you can sell, internationally, you can have lots of different countries you can sell to, ad fatigue is not going to be as big of a factor as negative feedback. Negative feedback is what we're trying to combat, and that's where the wagon wheel approach comes in. So let's say you've created your ad, you've created a post on your Facebook business page. You've created a post, and that's now what you're using for your ad. Let's say that ad performs great. Over time, you scale that budget up. You might be at $60 a day, $100 a day, whatever your daily budget is. You've been able to scale it up to essentially its max point for keeping that high performance. But then over time, you start losing performance on that high performing ad set. Now, the thing to keep in mind is you want to see if you've tapped out with your current audience that you're selling to, but odds are if you've got a big audience, that's not the case. So what most people do, what most beginners do, and what most people I talk to with Facebook ads, as soon as they have decreasing performance with their ad sets, they just immediately cut it off. If the ad goes from being profitable to break even or even below break even, they'll just go ahead and kill that ad set and move on. Try to create new ad sets. And while this can work, you can go ahead and still get and squeeze out a lot of money from those current ad sets. And then I'm gonna teach you the wagon wheel approach that can keep your margins insanely high. So what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and that Facebook post that you created that had that great performance that you've been using for those ads, you wanna go ahead and essentially create a duplicate Facebook post. Go create a whole new Facebook post and you can almost essentially copy that Facebook post. But now what's gonna happen is now you've got a fresh Facebook post that's got no negative feedback attached to it. A big reason why the performance probably was decreasing on your ad sets and campaigns using that one individual post is because that post was getting a lot of negative feedback attached to it. Over time, you might be getting a lot of positive feedback, but negative feedback has a much greater effect on your performance than positive feedback does. So you want to go ahead, create a fresh post that has no negative feedback attached to it. Essentially, you just want to go ahead, use that new Facebook post, start new ads using that new post at a low budget. So it's essentially like you'd be starting over from scratch. Now with the old posts, the old ad sets that were once performing high and now are decreasing, instead of cutting that off, you want to every couple of days be decreasing the budget. And what you should have is every single time you decrease the budget, the Facebook ads should re-optimize at that new budget, and you should have a little bit of a spike in performance. And then what's most likely going to happen, because of your negative feedback, you're going to have the performance decrease again at that new budget. And so essentially you're laddering the budget down. Now what's great is a lot of times you'll ladder it down, and then you'll find a point that even with that negative feedback, those once performing great ad sets will be performing great again, but it'll be at a lower budget. But at the same time, every couple of days using the new ads with the new post, you're gonna have those increasing. So what happens is you're constantly essentially laddering down budgets to keep the ad sets essentially profitable, because as you're decreasing this, you should have profitability come back, and you're increasing the budgets of the new ad sets, new campaigns. So it's this constant ebb and flow of new ad sets, new campaigns using new posts that have no negative feedback attached to them. And I get the complaint all the time when I've taught people this, is that it causes more work. Yes, this causes more work, but this will allow your essential overall ad accounts to have a lot more profitability. You're gonna have those higher margins come back. You're gonna have a lot more profitability if you do this strategy, but you have to keep in mind that this is going to cause more work. Now you're having multiple posts with each one having the multiple campaigns, multiple ad sets attached to it that you're constantly having to ebb and flow the budgets for. But this is why I call it the wagon wheel approach, because as one is decreasing in performance, you should be decreasing the budget, start a new post with new ad sets, new campaigns, be increasing those budgets, and it's just this constant ebb and flow. And this can completely turn around those once decreasing performing ad sets and essentially keep it going to where you can have products and you can have the same ads essentially working for long periods of time. I've had very, very similar ads for the same exact product working for years now. This is how powerful this can be. You can have these winning products or winning offers that you can keep going for a long period of time, rather than it only working out for a month, 2 months, or maybe even a quarter if you're lucky, and then you have to totally move on to a new product, new offer, or completely new creative with the ad itself. I get complaints all the time from people essentially complaining that their winning products die out so fast. And while there's a lot of different factors that go into play on why a product might die out fast, with us having almost 8 billion people worldwide, you should be able to have a lot more performance with your ads. And this is a way you can go ahead and combat the greatest contributing factor to decreasing performance, which is negative feedback. Use the wagon wheel approach. All right, so moving on to the ad account level. So the ad account level is going up the next step. If you've gone ahead and you've been using the wagon wheel approach on your ads and your campaigns, but now you're just seeing your performance decrease account wide, and you're suspecting that something is up, this could really come down to the ad account level itself. So I put out a video on this a couple months ago on essentially negative feedback being attached to the ad account level itself. And Facebook hasn't really come out and said this, but a lot of people have rumored this to be true for especially the last year now. And I've gone through, and myself along with a couple other people have tested a new strategy that works to keep the negative feedback from really affecting your account itself. So if you've had a very successful account, you've had ads all throughout your account that have been working great, you have an offer that you know still works, whether that's a product, lead gen, whatever, you have an offer that you know still works, but you're having increasing prices on your ads, increasing cost of your ads with decreasing performance, a lot of times this can come down to the negative feedback attached to the account itself. So before you make any changes to your current account, essentially what you want to do is you want to go ahead and take the time to create a whole other Facebook ad account within the same business manager. You want to go ahead and transfer the pixel and transfer all of your current audiences that were on that old ad account to this new account. You can go ahead and share those audiences to essentially have all your retargeting, your lookalike audiences, all your performing audiences. You can go ahead and share those with the new ad account. On the new ad account, start with your best campaigns. So whatever your best campaigns were or are with your old ad account, go ahead and start essentially duplicates of those old ones. And you can either create a new post on your Facebook page to essentially have the same kind of strategy as the ad level with the wagon wheel, or you can even use the same exact performing Facebook post that you used on the old ad account. But essentially what you want to do is start with your highest performing ads, start that on the new ad account. And a lot of times what will happen is the first week, while this new ad account is getting warmed up, you might be in the red. But after the first week, what a lot of times happens is you'll have that high performance you once had in the early days of your original ad account. So if you've had an ad account that once it seemed like the gold rush, you were making a ton of money, and now you even find out that new sellers are selling the same or a very similar product, and they're making greater numbers than you. A lot of times what happens is this is because they're using now a fresh account that has no negative feedback on it. So a lot of times when you create this new Facebook ad account, you're gonna have those original kind of gold rush numbers that you once had with that old account. You want to obviously still keep your profitable campaigns and ad sets running on the old account. Don't just kill the old account. If you have profitable campaigns running on that old account, keep it. But now you're also going to have this new account that you should be able to really explode once again. It's almost like using the wagon wheel approach, but at the ad account level. All right, so the third level I want to talk about is at the Facebook page level itself. So Facebook has for a while now been sending out essentially surveys to your customers to essentially rate your business. Well, lately, within the last month or so, Facebook has changed up how they do this, and they've actually changed up how this will affect your business as a whole. So now customers will go through, and after a service or a product has been delivered to the customer, Facebook will send out this survey to go ahead and rate your business on customer service, on product quality, on miscellaneous. They can go ahead and rate your business essentially a 1 through 5 level. So the thing is, if you get under a 2.0 rating, an average of a 2.0 rating, Facebook is actually, they literally will show it on your Facebook ad account. They will go ahead and essentially decrease the performance of your ads. You'll have a penalty essentially put on, and this can range from 1 week all the way up to 3 weeks, but you'll have a penalty put on your ad account to where your ads are going to be essentially decreasing in performance because of the negative feedback. So if you get under 2.0, you obviously need to go through, try to identify and fix the problem. So if the customers are saying that you've got bad customer service, you need to go ahead and invest the time in learning good customer service, or hire a good virtual assistant or whatever it takes to have that good customer service. Same thing goes with the product, delivery, whatever. You need to go ahead and identify the problem and fix the problem. The thing is, if you get below a 1.0, with your negative feedback attached to the page itself, you will no longer be able to run ads with that Facebook page. So that's what we're going to be talking about right here. If that happens, you absolutely need to identify the problem, because there's massive problems within your business, and something's very often you're not going to be able to run your business for much longer as long as you don't fix those problems. But let's say you've identified the problem, you've fixed those. What you need to do is you need to go ahead and create a new Facebook page. Now this is where if you get this problem, this is somewhat of a big problem, and this is going to really cause a lot more work on your end, because you're going to need to create a new Facebook page. You're going to need to create a new Facebook ad account, because you're going to want to use a fresh ad account since you've had a lot of negative feedback attached to that page and now account. And you're going to need to start all those ads all over again. So that's what happens is if you get all this negative feedback attached to the page itself, and you get below a 2.0 and it doesn't fix, and then you drop below 1.0, you're going to have to essentially start your whole Facebook process from scratch. But hopefully you're doing good business practices. You don't have to worry about that. Really the two big tips I have for you is using the wagon wheel at both the ad level. Start with the ad level, And then if you see your performance decreasing account wide, then use a wagon wheel approach on the account itself, like what we talked about. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The wagon wheel approach, there's definitely a lot more that goes into this, but I wanted to kind of give you guys the condensed version that you could go ahead and start using right now. If you want me to create a full hour-long talk on how to really use this in depth, I can definitely do that. Leave a comment down below. But this can go very much in depth with this. But the tips I gave you today can absolutely help you turn a decreasing performing ad or account and help it come back to high performance levels. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and smash that like button down below. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely leave a comment. I'll answer all comments and questions within the first hour of the video uploaded. Keep grinding, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.